What's your initial thoughts and reactions of this Matt Wells firing?
I mean, how can you not agree with it at this point after a kind of loss like that on Saturday, where Kansas State did literally everything they could to lose that game, and you gave it to them. And so, yeah, the decision was right by Kirby. I respect him for making that decision. And while it came kind of at a weird time on Monday around noon is kind of when that news started trickling out on Twitter and all over the place. I kind of expected him to do it maybe next week. I thought with the bye coming up, that'd probably be the right time to do it. But I guess his ultimate decision was now's the best time. And yeah, it completely rips the Band-Aid off. You don't have to have that conversation. If Wells got to the 6th win, what do you do? Which I like. I'm glad that, now the players can just go out there and play and not have this kind of, hanging over their shoulders. So ultimately the right decision. And for whatever reason, Matt Wells just could never get it going here. And that career ends in mid-season here in his 3rd year. So, but obviously proud of Kirby for going ahead and pulling the trigger on it. And I guess Dustin has some more from Kirby's press conference and other things like that.
Yeah, my initial thoughts kind of with you, not surprised about the outcome of doing it, a little surprised of the timing. The timing also kind of tells me there was conversations with Kirby and whoever else about, this is kind of his last leg and he doesn't have much legs to stand on, especially with people that are saying like we're 5-3. Yeah, but if you look at our 3 losses, they're bad losses and how we lost those games. And I think Kirby and whoever else is with him on this decision took that into the factor of this, which is good. Yeah, the point you made, which was my favorite point that I saw, was let's just get it over with before he does what Cliff did in one of his last years and gets a 6th win by an upset. And then we're kind of in a corner of, do we keep him? He got an upset. Now we got a bowl game, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So things weren't going to get any better with our schedule coming up the next 4 games. They obviously weren't much better from the last 2 years and 3 years prior. So yeah, rip the Band-Aid off, go ahead, get it over with, make the breakup. Now the team can focus their own thing, and then your upper staff, higher ups can focus on finding the next guy.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously a big key point there is going to be that next guy. I mean, on my end, or on my take of this, is you're in Power 5, you're in the Big 12, and you have a 7-16 record in the Big 12 for what you're hired to do. If you're not doing your job over a not long enough period of time, you get let go. And yeah, the only thing that I've ever heard from anybody and everybody that's ever come across Matt Wells is all positivity. Every single person that I've ever heard of that's ever come in contact with him, all good things. So I really do also, I mean, as Brooks said, wish him the best of luck. But this is his 3rd season and we needed to see some better stuff out of him.
I tweeted out, and I fire off a lot of tweets, and most of my tweets usually get a couple likes here and there. So I fired off this one thinking I was probably going to do the same. Boy, did it take off. Was not ready for that. But the tweet said the top 3 most annoying Tech fans during a coaching search. Number 1, the let's hire Art Browse fan. The 2, we need Leach back fan. And the 3, well, Cliff is 7-0 fan. And every single one of these fans responded in exactly the way that you would expect them to, proving my point to be 1,000% correct on my, assumption with this. And the Cliff one is probably, I mean, it's like cute, I guess, in a way. It's like, aw. Like it's all of a sudden now he's a good college football coach. Yeah. And so we regret firing him because we didn't know it takes him 9 years to become a good coach. And I just don't understand these fans' thought.
He had a horrible record while he was here with one of the best quarterbacks to ever play in the NFL so far. And let's be honest, Cliff at Arizona has way more help than he had here as far as like top tier, top notch coordinators, offensive, defensive, special teams.
Yeah.
Like, he's not the one in reason for their success. He has a general manager helping him with the hires. He has the same GM helping him with the draft. Like, I'm sorry, but like, he's not the one pulling these strings. He's a part of the talk, sure.
A professional defensive coordinator, huh? How about
he has
that?
admitted that he did not like recruiting in college because, one, the job never stops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You get 3 or 4 months off as an NFL coach, and you get, like Arlie said, all these guys that do the picking for you.
You do. He has everything done for it.
Minimum. Being a good NFL coach doesn't retroactively make him a good college football coach. It doesn't. And that's what they're basically making it seem to be, is that if we would have, now he's a good college football coach because he found success 3 years into the NFL. Leach fan annoying to you?
It's the you miss your hot ex-girlfriend
Yeah.
that you haven't found the one that's hotter yet.
Still hung
You
up.
were like, hey, let's move on. I can do better. Oh, shit, I can't do better. Oh, no, and she's doing better. And 10 years later.
It's 10 years later.
12 years later. I don't even know how many years it is at this point. You can't get over it. And that's there. Everybody's just like, oh, can we go back? Because that was the best time of Texas Tech football. Thank God I got to watch it. That like 3-4 year stretch in there was amazing. You were lighting up scoreboards, you were lighting teams up, you knew you always had a chance. That's just what it is. They can't get over the breakup, even though it's 10, 12 years later, whatever it is, and they've seen him gone to Washington State and Mississippi State and have success now.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. That's how I was going to describe it. Is it's an ex-girlfriend that like 11 years later you're still, and all your friends are like, dude, shut the fuck up about her. Like, enjoy the times that we had. All right, it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
We all miss it. We all miss it. Like, I miss it. I wish we could still have that, but it's not coming back, nor should it.
We're not getting back there.
The sequel is never better than the regular movie. Guy on that list, the number one, and boy, I gotta say, the people who respond to this definitely fit the Art Browse culture. The last thing that I got, hit at for on the Browse thing is I'm soft. I'm soft for not wanting to compromise my morals for winning football games. And I'll say my piece on that, and then y'all can kind of add to what you want. And then if I'm soft because I value human decency and being a good person and stuff over winning meaningless football games on a couple Saturdays out of the year, then fuck yeah, I'm soft. Call me soft all you want. Because I would rather be a fundamentally decent human being and, whatever. If we lose on Saturday, guess what? My Saturday night was pretty fucking awesome last Saturday. Went to a Spurs game, watched them play, went to a work conference. Guess what hasn't haunted me all week? Losing to Kansas State. Like, I get on with my life, and I know people are affected by it, right? The people who work for the football team, players, people around it, like, sure, they're affected, but if you're just a fan and you're willing to compromise like your whole moral ground just for a head coach, just to have a little, like, a 3 more better Saturdays during the months of September through November, I really have no respect for that. And if you want to call me soft for that, okay, cool. I'd rather win football games the right way. I'd rather win it with a coach that doesn't have that history behind it and doesn't cut corners to try to win games. Like, I'd rather that. I'd rather have a coach that I can support and be happy that we hire instead of a guy that I'm going to turn my back on. Like, sure, call me soft, whatever. But don't ask me to compromise my morals to win football games.
I don't agree with that at all. You can't.
The way you put that is a very good perspective of it makes 3 or 4 of your Saturdays out of 3 months better. It's like, wow, that's actually a very good point. Like, maybe don't get so attached to, and me, like you said, me and you were some of the biggest fans, but as soon as that game was over, I went on with my Saturday night and had a great time.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to let them bring me down, and I'm going to go home and cry or try to bend my morals or whatever you want to say. But yeah, for 3 or 4 more victories, I don't want to sell my soul to the devil to make this team a conference championship type team, kind of like Baylor did. And I mean, they did it and it worked out. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm okay with not. And
Yeah,
saving
y'all know
my
me.
morals.
Yeah, y'all know me. I want to win as much as anybody. I want Tech to succeed. I root so hard for them. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's just a game. And it doesn't, my priorities are right. I'm good with that.
Catch y'all at the next tailgate.